Love it or hate it, there's actually quite a bit to learn about filmmaking from Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Here are 10 things I bet you didn't know about how this movie was made. Number 1, every movie has a protagonist character and point of view characters, and while they're sometimes the same character, that's not always the case. For example, The Phantom Menace is the story of Queen Amidala told through the eyes of the Jedi. Lucas also used this technique in Episode 4, A New Hope, which is Luke Skywalker's story told through the eyes of R2-D2 and C-3PO. Number 2, on that note, ObiWan Kenobi is the centering device of the prequel films. In Episode 1, Qui-Gon Jinn is the rebel, just as Anakin becomes the rebel in Episodes 2 and Episodes 3, but Obi-Wan grounds the characters and is the focal point through which we view everyone else throughout the entire prequel trilogy. Number 3, every single take of this dinner scene was 10 minutes long and played all the way through without stopping, similar to theater pieces. Filming a scene this way can help the actors get into character and stay in character longer, and often results in more convincing performances. If you're an aspiring filmmaker, I challenge you to give this a go. Next time you film a scene, film every cut, every take is one full go and then edit it together. You'll be surprised at how convincing the performances are. Number 4, George Lucas purposely works in pickup time into his productions. Now, pickups are where the film crew returns months, if not years later, to film brand new scenes to help smooth out the story. This scene, for example, was filmed around a year after the rest of the movie was shot and was added to explain to the audience why Padme disappears for so many scenes a little bit more than halfway through the film. Number 5, similarly, the scene of Anakin and Qui-Gon talking at night was added to introduce the concept of Anakin's dreams and to foreshadow his power. And then this scene was added because Lucas felt it was important for the audience to clearly understand that Palpatine was now a Chancellor and to have Palpatine acknowledge Anakin in some way, of course setting up Episodes 2 and 3. 6, Episode 1 was designed to function as the first act of a play. Set up the plot and introduce the major characters. The true conflict doesn't come until Act 2, or in this case, Episode 2. Number 7, on that note, there are 5 major plot points in The Phantom Menace according to George Lucas himself. Number 1, the Trade Federation versus the Queen, then the Jedi Knight's mission. 3, the finding of Anakin Skywalker. 4, the rise of the Sith Lords. And finally, the basic story underlying all the others is how Senator Palpatine becomes the Chancellor of the Republic. According to George Lucas himself, everything else revolves around that storyline, the storyline of Palpatine becoming Chancellor. Even though it isn't the obvious focal point of the movie, Palpatine becoming Chancellor is the plot thread that Lucas builds the entire film around, which naturally spills into Episodes 2 and 3. And, of course, Palpatine is the movie's namesake, The Phantom Menace. Number 8, Star Wars is all about thematic bookends. In this second to last scene, we have a funeral pyre motif, which directly reflects Darth Vader's funeral pyre in the approximate second to last scene of Return of the Jedi. Both deaths have major implications to the story and ultimately echo each other. The fact that Anakin was present during Qui-Gon's funeral pyre gives an added impact to his own funeral scene years later. Number 9, the number of different costumes a character wears can be used to indicate both status and lifestyle choices without adding any exposition. It's the concept of show versus tell. The original plan was for Queen Amidala to have only 3 costumes, but George Lucas then decided that every time we see the Queen, there should be a costume change, because somebody of her stature would always be changing her costume. Now, compare this to Anakin, who only has 1 costume for the majority of the movie in order to reflect his slave status, or the Jedi, who only have 1 basic costume, which acts as a unifying symbol of the Jedi Order. Number 10, Jabba the Hutt's majordomo, Bib Fortuna, was played by sound editor Matthew Wood, who later performed the voice of General Grievous in Revenge of the Sith. The lesson here, don't discount your own crew when searching for the perfect extra or even the perfect actor. You can often find talent in the unlikeliest of places. Check out this playlist here to learn more about your favorite films, and if you have a Phantom Menace film fact that you want to share with this community, definitely feel free to drop a comment below so we can all learn together. Until next time though, have fun watching movies and making movies.